All right, welcome. This is DB talking now, DB talking birds, DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We are going to today just have an open conversation. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about the NFC East a little bit. We're going to talk about the Julio Jones updates in regards to Derrick Henry trying to recruit him to Tennessee, Deshaun Watson a little bit, and even Jalen Hurts and more. So, welcome. Let's get this thing started with the Julio Jones updates. Obviously, Julio Jones is on the trade block and probably going to be traded before week 1 of the of the 2021 NFL season. But recently, Derrick Henry's trying to recruit Julio Jones to Tennessee. If that happens, guys, I mean that would be huge. Big Play Slay, what's up, man? How's it going, brother? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How do you feel about Julio Jones? Do you think the Eagles should make a play for him? I put something in my previous stream about saying I think the Eagles should get in on that. It would be an upgrade over Travis Fulgham. Travis Fulgham would be able to develop under a guy who has been doing it really well for a long period of time. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about that. But yeah, as I was saying, Derrick Henry trying to recruit him, I think that would be huge for the Tennessee Titans. I mean, they need a guy to take pressure off of Derrick Henry, even though they do love to run the ball, they do it successfully. But I mean, adding Julio Jones to anybody's team is just, it's just a diamond in the bag. You know what I mean? And I spoke a little bit with this. I spoke a little bit about this with other guys off air, and some have said it doesn't make sense for the Philadelphia Eagles to do it. Some say it does. Blah 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 blah. I think adding Julio Jones to your team makes sense in more ways than one. It doesn't matter which team that it is. Jalen Hurts me. What's up, my man? Happy Friday. You're here early. It's been so long. Yeah, I told you guys I was trying to rearrange my schedule. I have some other stuff that I've been dealing with and kind of maneuvering and moving things around. So hopefully I can continue to do this back in the future again. Get back on the 3:30 train with you guys like I was previously. Jalen Hurts me says, did you guys see D-Hop is openly recruiting Julio? That's crazy for AZ to add another receiver. Yeah. And outside of Derrick Henry, obviously there's DeAndre Hopkins, trying to recruit Julio Jones to Arizona. That would be insane. That would be absolutely insane. Unfortunately, I think that they're loaded at the wide receiver position now. And so they don't necessarily need Julio Jones as much as other teams would. But like I just said, I mean, he's a great guy to have in your locker room. And, just to further justify my point about why the Eagles should do it is we don't have a veteran wide receiver on this team. Regardless of how well Devontae Smith looks in camp, and obviously that's another thing that we'll get into. The vets are really impressed with Devontae Smith already. No shock there, but it's always good to hear. Big Play Slay says, I would stay away from that. I mean, let's be honest, he's 31, as talented as he is. He has way too many injuries. Yeah, and that's another thing to think about too. He's been injured way too much over the past few years. But again, smart, cerebral player. If we could get a bang for our buck, out of Julio Jones in the final years of him, why not? I mean, as long as it doesn't cost too much, right? As long as it doesn't cost too much. But speaking of veterans coming to Philadelphia, Ryan Kerrigan, obviously, as we've talked about previously before, I absolutely love the guy already. I loved him coming out of college. I love him. I love his personality and the things that he brings to Philadelphia already. I mean, I saw his interview with Lane Johnson as a guest, and just absolutely excited to become a Philadelphia Eagle, and that's what I like to hear. And he's a good player. And as I mentioned before, he does have the ability to play linebacker too, guys, in some defensive looks. So Big Play Slay says a second and a sixth next year for Julio, maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's true. And I was thinking about what what I would be okay with trade as far as trading for Julio Jones. And yeah, kind of that second round pick, maybe I would do, maybe. But it depends. I mean, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't do it at the end of the day, unless it was a third rounder. But I don't think that the Eagles would get away with. I just don't think that the Eagles would get away with that. Big Play Slay says, "Would you want Stefan Gilmore?" Absolutely. Absolutely, I would want Stefan Gilmore. I've seen some bits and pieces of rumors about the Eagles trying to trade for Stefan Gilmore. And it's been like nuggets, though, or not nuggets, but it's been like breadcrumbs, though. I haven't seen anything significant about it. But I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not in the works or it hasn't been talked about. I think the Philadelphia Eagles should definitely bring in another cornerback. We need another cornerback, guys, as we know, to start opposite Darius Slay. And I think that their plan is, to be completely honest with you, I think that their plan is to play Avonte Maddox. I think their plan is to play Josiah Scott, and obviously Darius Slay. But that's because I believe that they're going to implement some cover 4 looks, more than we're used to. And so, you need 4 cornerbacks. You need 4 cornerbacks that can get the job done. So, Stefan Gilmore, yes, I would openly welcome him to Philadelphia. He's a phenomenal cornerback, and I think a tandem between him and Darius Slay would be great. Would be absolutely great. But, guys, let's talk about Deshaun Watson a little bit. So, I mean, obviously, there's been reports from Bleacher Report that the Philadelphia Eagles are still monitoring the situation. There's been some articles put out before of guys thinking that the Deshaun Watson thing is going to go away. Do you guys think that the Eagles are still heavily interested in Deshaun Watson, even though they've already made all of these moves to basically help support Jalen Hurts for this season? Big Play Slay says, I think Gannon wants to develop his own players and not sign guys that are proven unless it just blows him away and he wants that guy. I agree. With that. And I think I mean, he pretty much said that with Ryan Kerrigan. He absolutely loved what he was really excited for Ryan Kerrigan to come to the team. Obviously Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham were openly recruiting him, and as far as Ryan Kerrigan and Gannon go, Gannon just absolutely loved what he could bring to the team, being a really smart player, bringing that competitive edge with him, and so I agree with you. I think if he's absolutely blown away by a player, then he'll ask Howie to go ahead and get him. Jalen Hurts says day 12 of waiting for Jordan Hicks to come back home. Yeah, I in my honest opinion, while I would love that, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen. I think that they're really excited about Eric Wilson. Again, kind of going in line with what Big Play Slay just said is Gannon's going to want to bring in his own guys. Eric Wilson is one of them. Anthony Harris was another one. And so, while Jordan Hicks is on the market and it makes sense for the Philadelphia Eagles to go ahead and grab him, I think that we're going to be okay. We don't necessarily need to go out and get Jordan Hicks, but I do believe that they want to see these, young defensive players that we just drafted. Eric Wilson, I think they want to, and what's his face? I forgot his name last time too. Alex Singleton. I think they want to go ahead and see these guys develop. You know what I mean? And Alex Singleton did show some promise. And Big Play Slay says, absolutely. I think as far as Deshaun Watson is concerned, absolutely. I think they're monitoring the legal situations right now, and they know they have the pieces to do it. They have 3 firsts next year. Yeah, they do. If they wanted to continue to give up a first round pick, I think that they're going to need to give up a first round pick regardless of how long it's been since a team has needed to trade. But I mean, the truth is the trade value does dwindle as time goes along here. But again, bringing in Deshaun Watson, only being 25 years old, I'm pretty sure he turns 26 this year, would be absolutely phenomenal for this franchise. Granted, everything get turned away and kind of dissolved as far as his legal issues are concerned. So, but we'll just have to see. I think that is one of those trades that would catapult this Eagles team kind of blow the question marks away just a bit. Blow the question marks away and kind of knowing that you're bringing in a quarterback who is established and could bring some good. Because at the end of the day, the question marks are still there about Jalen Hurts. But let's go ahead and move to Jalen Hurts on that situation, on that topic. The guys love him, and that's the thing. That's the thing that we've said in the past. It's the thing that I guess we'll continue to repeat. I mean, he just has a different, he has a better handle on leadership. It seems to be he has a better handle on leadership than probably Carson Wentz did. And the guys follow his lead. He talks to everyone, according to Miles Sanders. He talks to everyone, not just offensive players, but defensive players. And so it's good to know that he is taking in the reins of leadership very, very well. And that's something that's not a surprise to us, right? That's not a surprise to us. That's something, he's been doing all offseason long, and he started right away, and he's continuing to press and press and press to get better. And that's what I absolutely love to see from Jalen Hurts. So I hope that he pans out. You know what I mean? I hope that he pans out. I hope that he gives us something more than what a second round pick is normally expected to do. So, and with that as well, it seems like he is on the right track to doing that. So the other thing that I want to talk about too, guys, is offensive coordinator Shane Steichen came out and also said that offensive coordinator Shane Steichen came out and said that he was trying to focus on the skill players while watching tape, but he kept gravitating towards the offensive linemen and how great of football players that they were. And I guess that's a good thing. That's a good sign. That's good news for the offensive linemen, to hear that they're doing really, really well. What tape was he watching exactly? That's my question. What tape was he watching exactly? Was he watching last year's tape? Was he watching tape from the camp? We really gotta, I really wonder. I really do. I really wonder, because if he's watching tape from camp, or if he's watching both, he's probably watching both. Let's just put that one to bed. He's probably watching both. And I wonder how much he likes Jack Driscoll. I like Jack Driscoll a lot, honestly. I like offensive lineman Jack Driscoll a lot. I think that he has a bright future ahead of him. I think Jordan Mailata has a bright future ahead of him. And obviously LaRaven Clark coming to Philadelphia is huge. I think that's going to be great. I think he's going to be able to compete I think he's going to be able to compete and probably beat out Andre Dillard, whatever they plan to do with him. And he might give Jordan Mailata a run for his money too. We might see LaRaven Clark starting at left tackle for this team in 2021. And so that's going to be a thing to watch. That's going to be a battle to watch. And obviously the familiarity with Nick Sirianni is there. And so they obviously brought in a guy that they trusted. I'm surprised he was on the market for so long, honestly. But let's go back a little bit. Jalen Hurts, he says, anybody excited for the Friends reunion? Because I am. Yes, I am too. I love Friends. I grew up watching Friends. And I just listened to their People interview the other day, and yeah, I'm absolutely stoked for it. I hope that they can bring the same humor if not better, to the reunion. I mean, it's going to be absolutely great. It's going to be absolutely great. So I know what's his name, guy who played Chandler. I know he can, because he's been funny his entire career. So Jen is probably a better actress than she was then. So they're gonna bring some veteran. I want to talk about diagnosing. They're gonna bring some veteran leadership to the Friends reunion. Da, 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 da. They're gonna bring some veteran moves, veteran skills, better probably a better understanding of dynamics and things like that. But they were absolutely phenomenal then. That's not to take anything away from the job that they did, then, Courtney Cox, Jennifer Aniston, David Schwimmer, all of them, Lisa Kudrow, and then there's Joey and Chandler. Big Place Today says, I have a question. Why aren't you at 1 million subs yet? I don't know. We'll see. Guys, just hey, I don't want to force anything. I don't want to pressure anything into existence. I just kind of enjoying the ride as it comes. Dak, welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. We all missed you. Yes, it's true. It is very, very true. Jalen Hurtsme says we need to promote this channel. You guys can promote the channel all you want. It's greatly appreciated if you do. Get your friends, your family, anybody like and subscribe. Jalen Hurtsme says they just dropped a trailer. I didn't see the trailer yet. I guess I gotta watch the trailer. Dak, how are you feeling about Julio Jones being on the trade block, and how are you feeling about our signing of Ryan Kerrigan? All of the above. What's your take? How do you feel about this Eagles team moving forward? What the one thing about Ryan Kerrigan said is he said it was silly for anybody to write off the Philadelphia Eagles. So, and he made a great point. We made the playoffs for the past 3 of the 4 years and won a Super Bowl during that time. So, I mean, and that does, that coincides with what every Eagles fan should understand, is that, we're a team that bounces back. We're a team that doesn't usually go through bad seasons. So it's out of the norm. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we shocked the world and went 11-6 or 10-8 or 10-7, whatever it may be. I would not be shocked if we had a positive record. And Dak, yes, we did. We missed you terribly. Missed you terribly, my friend. Speaking of Dak being on the channel right now, Dak, are you concerned with Dak Prescott coming back? Do you think he's going to be the same player? It was quite the injury. I think he'll still be good. I don't know if he'll be the same player that he used to be. Right. Matthew Perry and Matt LeBlanc. Right. I'm sorry. I usually know their names very well. I am a film buff. I studied film, and I studied acting too. And for me to forget an actor's name is very rare. So you guys just caught me in rare form. Dak is King says, I want them to do that 70s show reunion, but that ain't happening with legal shit. Yeah. They have legal shit surrounding them. Jalen Hurtsme says, Big Place Lake says, I'm going to ask a lot of people to check this channel out. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. Jalen Hurtsme says, that 70s show was so good, but we need Drake and Josh reunion. They're doing iCarly instead. LOL. I think they tried to do a Drake and Josh reunion already, and Josh didn't want to do it, or Drake didn't want to do it. Either one. One of them didn't want to do it. Jack is King says, I love Kerrigan signing for you guys. Great veteran leadership. Like I said, I think Eagles go 9-8. I'm bullish on you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It keeps me on my toes. Thank you. Kerrigan, I think is going to be. Kerrigan, I think is an awesome signing. He has a lot left in the tank, probably even more so than Chris Lawn did, and that's not taking anything away from Chris Lawn, but I still feel like Kerrigan has a lot more in the tank left than Chris Lawn did at the time that we signed him in 2017, because I think Chris Lawn was already mulling retirement at that point. Big Play Slay says, the doubt that's being thrown at us right now kind of feels like what happened to us when we won the Super Bowl. We had criticism and doubt thrown at us, and we shocked so many people. Yeah. No, I mean, and I was thinking about this last night, is the Eagles are only favored in 2 of their 17 games. 2. You think Jalen Hurts didn't get notice of that? You think Miles Sanders didn't get notice of that? You think Fletcher Cox and Ryan Kerrigan and Brandon Graham didn't get notice of that? Or Jason Kelsey or Lane Johnson? The entire team got notice of that, and Fletcher Cox had his interview today. Fletcher Cox had his interview today. They're all hungry. The building is, there's a good energy in the building. And look, you could say that, oh, of course they're going to say that. No, not of course. They don't have to say that. In fact, leaders are supposed to say, we need to see the energy pick up. And we've seen Lane Johnson say that. We've seen Jason Kelsey say that. We've seen, Fletcher is kind of more of a quiet type, but I don't think that they would say it. I don't think that they would say it if it weren't true. So the energy coming out of the building is great. Miles is excited that they're all learning together, and I'm excited. I'm excited for what Miles is gonna do this year. Oh, right. I just read that. Danny Masterson, who played Hyde, is in trial for sexual assault. That's right. I forgot about that. Danny's a good actor too. I think he's funny. He was also in Yes Man with Jim Carrey and Bradley Cooper. He played the third wheel friend. Well, technically, Jim Carrey was a third wheel friend until he met Zooey Deschanel on that long drive to the park that the homeless man made him drive. It's a good movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on Netflix. Jalen Hurtsby says, I am honestly excited for the Eagles season. We're going to prove them wrong. I agree. I just have this feeling. I have the feeling that Jalen Hurts is going to do really well. And the reason why is that started in his first game. It started in his first game against the Saints. Him rolling out of the pocket and then him launching that 40-yarder to Greg Ward was just too Russell Wilson-like for the guy not to have potential that could equal great quarterback play in the future. You know what I mean? So Big Play Slay says, wait, have you talked about the Jonathan Gannon press conference? I have not. I have not talked about the Jonathan Gannon press conference. What did you guys think of the Jonathan Gannon press conference? I'm excited. I honestly am. I'm excited about the Jonathan Gannon press conference. I mean, I was excited about it. The one thing that I will say is I was caught off guard by him saying, we're still trying to figure this defense out. I was a little bit caught off guard by that, but that's okay. You know what I mean? I think he said that in other words, obviously, but I think the thing is Nick Sirianni mentioned that they're going to adjust the scheme. They're going to adjust the scheme to the personnel, not the personnel to the scheme. And so they're still trying to figure out these guys, and the defensive personnel that they have. And so that's what I think he meant. That's what I think he meant. And I think he has ideas for each player. but they got to figure out how. I mean, there was the video of Jacoby Stevens, in blitz doing blitz drills. I saw that, and so I like that, and I kind of that's what I suspected. I think they're going to use him more of a joker. So we'll just have to see. But I think it's going to be fine. Ryan Kerrigan had high praise for Jonathan Gannon, and that was kind of enough for me to not worry about the Jonathan Gannon press conference anymore. Jalen Hurts me says, you should do a studio tour. LOL, always curious to see what's on the shelf next to you. I'll try and do a studio tour. But here, guys, give me one second. I will be back with you in a moment. Talk amongst yourselves. I have a quick emergency. 1 second. All right, guys. Sorry about that break. This is DB talking now. DB talking birds. DB talking Philadelphia Eagles, as you guys know. Yeah, I apologize about that. So I should do a studio tour. LOL. Always curious to see what's on that shelf next to you. I'm always curious to see what's on the shelf next to me, to be completely honest. You never know. What do we got here? We got a fucking hole puncher. I have broken headphones, which is a shame. Like, I was pissed off about this because this is an under the wire kind of brand, and these headphones were absolutely phenomenal. Look, they got the padding under here. They're padded. Noise canceling is phenomenal. 360 sound. Only got them for $80 because it was a brand still trying to make a name for themselves. And man, yeah, I just turned them. I got to the gym and I turned them, and then they just fucking snapped. Bro. I was so upset about this. Ugh. So then I had to work out without any headphones. And I was like, fuck you. What else do we got? I got this. Bump, 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 bump. I got Nike. I got a wireless keyboard. I got pens. I have tape. I have a little thing here. And tacks. Jalen Hurtsby says, what's your workout diet, man? I'm trying to drop some weight. Haha, nice room tour. Yeah, you're welcome. You know what? I kind of just, and I kind of figured out the diet. I kind of figured out the diet a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, maybe. I looked up some interviews. And, Chris Evans, for example, Ryan Reynolds, for example, what's his name? Wolverine. Why can't I fucking remember names today? They all said the same thing. Chicken. And sometimes broccoli. So that's kind of what it was, and so what I do is I just go to, whenever I go to the store, I get like 2 packs of chicken thigh fillets and broccoli, and then that's pretty much it. I fast until lunchtime, and then snack on chicken. It's kind of boring. Hugh Jackman. Yeah, exactly. Hugh Jackman. Yeah, they all said. I mean, there's multiples of it with Hugh Jackman talking about chicken, but like it's literally nothing but chicken. And then as far as like carbs are concerned, I love peanut butter and I love peanut butter sandwiches. So that's my carb that I usually have. And smoothies, smoothies as well. Dacus King says, all chicken, you and Patrick must never be able to eat together since he's vegan. Patrick's not, yeah, he's not technically vegan. Like he doesn't have the, the psychology of a vegan. He's just doing a plant-based diet, and it just happens that he cannot have, obviously that means that he can't eat meat, but Patrick and I have not gotten to eat together. Patrick and I have not eaten or went out since he started that plant-based diet. When you guys heard that news, I was hearing it for the first time too. So when he told you guys that, I was hearing it for the first time too. So I didn't know that he was doing that, but it makes sense. I mean, he's got a lot of dedication and he's a hard worker, and so it does not surprise me that he's doing well with that. So. Dacus King says, you do look buff as fuck. Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, I still, I mean, I haven't been as good going to the gym lately, but I'm trying to get back to it. Like I said, trying to move some things around so that I'm not completely overrun by work anymore, which is just, because I can't. I honestly, like, working for the job that I got recently was just too anxiety riddled and making me feel like I was a pawn. You know what I mean? I don't like feeling like I'm a pawn. But Toxic Falcons, welcome to the chat today, my man. Happy Friday, brother. I'm sure he's not happy about Julio Jones, and so he says it's stupid because Arthur Smith said he is the wrong coach for a rebuild. So why get rid of Julio if you're trying to actually make a Super Bowl run? Look, the Falcons are in the same boat that the Eagles are in. Honestly, they have a lot of positions to fill, and they're probably not going to call it a rebuild. They're probably going to. I mean, I think you should. What Jeffrey Lurie said about the Philadelphia Eagles team was that it's a transition this season, and whether the staff in Atlanta said it or not, I think that they're going through the same thing, and I think that Kyle Pitt. I mean, I think that while it's good news and bad news at the same time, I understand your allegiance to Julio Jones. I would get it. If Julio Jones was drafted and played for the Philadelphia Eagles, I would have a hard time wanting to trade him as well. But I mean, it's also a good thing in the sign that maybe they have plans to move Kyle Pitts around. And that's kind of what everybody wanted when they were looking at Kyle Pitts as a potential draft option for their team, correct? So I think it's going to be a good thing moving forward. And I think that they, I think the Falcons are okay I think they're going to be okay after they move on from Julio Jones. You know what I mean? So, but I agree. I agree with you. It's going to be a tough separation. It's going to be a tough separation. Jalen Hurtsby says, thanks, man, for that tip. I can't imagine doing plant-based diet. So hard. Yeah, and like I've said before, I've kind of tried. I mean, it like finding the diet has been trial and error. It really has. So I've tried being a vegan. I did it for 6 months, and like I said in the past, I missed salmon and I missed chicken. Those, as far as meats were concerned, those were the first that came to mind. It was really, really hard for me to find protein, even though it was recommended that I do it with beans. I don't necessarily like eating beans nonstop, so that's not something that I usually do. So I kind of implemented, things back into my stratosphere or my atmosphere or whatever into my diet, slowly but surely, and it just kind of paled out to chicken and salmon. And after a while, you can get creative too. Like I still get creative in the kitchen and cook, and so there's nothing, and it's not like I won't change direction on certain days. I try to, the good thing about the fasting until afternoon is that it gets your system running and rolling until so that you can kind of have whatever you want, but to keep it safe, chicken and fish. The new comic book superhero tandem, chicken, fish. Jalen Ersby says, do you work out daily? Do you split cardio and weights? I go about 5 days. I go 5 days a week. And sometimes I'll split my off days. Like I'll make Monday an off day, or I'll make and Monday and Wednesday an off day, or I'll just take Monday and Tuesday off. Whichever combination you want. And honestly, I work out. I do strength training in circuits. So like I cardio. I don't necessarily separate cardio or do a lot of cardio. I get my cardio from going really fast because of the circuits. So there's that. Because actually, like doing your strength training, does burn a lot of calories while you're doing it. But you can also have a separate day for cardio too. I'll sometimes have separate days, and I'll do like the Stairmaster, or or I'll put the treadmill at an incline, as high as it can go, as if I'm walking uphill or a mountain or something. And I'll do that from time to time. Toxic Falcon says, if we don't make the playoffs, we got to trade the whole team. Yeah. No. You really think you should? I don't think the Falcons should be expected to make the playoffs this year. I think it'd be great if they did. I think you guys could definitely handle the Panthers. You guys should definitely be able to handle the Panthers this season. Hands down. You guys should win both those games. So the Saints, we'll see. You know what I mean? I think you guys probably could split with the Saints. It all depends on how they bounce back from Drew Brees retiring. And so I think the Falcons should be okay. In fact, I'll even go as far to say, I think my expectations for the Falcons are the same as the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys could be 9-8. You guys could be 8-9. You guys could be, 7-10. But I don't think that the Eagles are going to go 7-10. I just don't see it. And I expect the Falcons to be better. Tox Falcon says, all I know is if you trade Julio, it's got to be a top defensive guy we get for him. I just, and I understand the thought process there. You know what I mean? I understand the thought process there. I just don't think he's worth a top defensive guy. He might be worth a Stefan Gilmore. I can see the Patriots making that trade. We know that the Patriots definitely wanted to trade for Julio as a part of their package for moving up in the draft this past offseason, and it was going to be a mega deal, but the Falcons smartly declined that offer and got Kyle Pitts. Jalen Hurts says, you should be a personal trainee. That's something that I've thought about in the past. And I was going to get a certificate, but I didn't follow through with it. But it might be something that I'll open the doors on again in the future. And so I like that. I like that idea. It's definitely something that I'd like to add to the repertoire. Jalen Hurtsme says, we'll buy Pitts for a bag of football if you trade the team. What? Not even sure if I understand that. We'll buy Pitts for a bag of football if you trade the team. Okay. Yeah, if you guys are going to trade the team, yeah, we'll take Kyle Pitts from you. Toxic Falcon says, I would love Von Miller in a third rounder. I think you're going to get Von Miller alone. I think Julio could be traded for Von Miller. I don't think you're going to get a third round. I wish I could say that you would. You know what I mean? I wish I could say that you would, but I just don't see that happening. I think Von Miller's value and Julio Jones's value are right there, equaling each other. So, so I think that would be a player for player swap. I think that would be a player for player swap. What about Khalil Mack? You really think the Bears are going to trade Khalil Mack? If the Bears traded the Falcons Khalil Mack, then they would probably ask for a pick back on top of Julio Jones. Khalil Mack is not that old. Khalil Mack is like 28. And he's still absolutely thunderous. He is thunderous. Dak is King says, DB, I'm coming down to AZ this summer. Let's do a meetup. Yeah, man, maybe. Yeah, maybe I can get you on the show. That would be really cool. Me, you, Pastor J. Just send me an email. dbtalkingnow@gmail.com. Toxic Falcon says not at all. Not at all. Well, I know that Derrick Henry is trying to recruit him to Tennessee. I know that DeAndre Hopkins is trying to recruit him to Arizona. And I honestly think that those are going to be one of the teams that go ahead and get him. I think the Eagles should look into it too, because he would definitely be an immediate upgrade over Travis Fulgham, and Travis Fulgham will be able to develop behind him. And I think that would be on the cherry on top of supporting Jalen Hurts. I have others that don't agree with that. That don't agree that the Eagles should go out and at least try or engage in trade talks with the Atlanta Falcons. And I think that they have already. Howie Roseman looks into everybody. He's already said that. Dacus King says, hey, first guest star of the show. Yeah, maybe. Toxic Falcon says, DB, FaceTime with fans. Well, hey, I am looking for new ideas for new things. So that is something we could possibly do. That is something we could possibly do in the future. So I'll keep that one in mind. Dacus King says, nuke AJ Green and Julio is just not fair if they all stay healthy. No, it wouldn't be fair at all. But I am very hesitant to say that DeAndre Hopkins or that Julio has any chance of going to Arizona. Regardless of Nuke trying to recruit him, because of that fact, they went ahead, they got AJ Green. They have they just drafted Rondale Moore. You know what I mean? So, or Elijah, was it Elijah or was it Rondell? Jeez, my brain. How does Arizona have all this money to sign all these guys anyway? Jeez, says Dak is King. Well, they just don't spend as much as other teams do, and they're also gonna get some cap room once they release Devon Kennard, and they're gonna get some more cap room when it comes to trading Jordan Hicks. I really think that Jordan Hicks will get traded. And I just don't know to who. I don't know if there's already a trade in place to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. But I think that the June 1st deadline is going to be a thing. We're gonna have to wait for the June 1st. Jalen Hurts says they still have Christian Kirk and Andy Isabella as well. Fitz might come back too, so they are loaded at wide receiver. Yeah. Yeah, Christian Kirk and Andy Isabella. And I like both of those guys. Jalen Hurts says they signed Watt, Butler, and Rodney Hudson too, right? Where's their cap space coming from, really? But this is what I want from the Eagles. Use this year to really develop Hurts, then use next year. Yeah. Well, I mean, they had the cap room to do that. And we've talked about this in the past. They've done some dummy year stuff, which a lot of GMs are doing. Jalen Hurts to sign more guys while QB is in rookie contract. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think that they should go get the Eagles should go ahead and try and make a run for Julio. I mean, get what you can out of him. You're not going to re-sign the guy. All of the dead money is going to go to Atlanta. So if it's a matter of restructuring, for the Philadelphia Eagles, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't restructure Julio to bring him to Philadelphia just because he is, getting old and he has been injury prone. So there's that. And going back to what Big Play Slay was saying before, like I think that, the Eagles have other things that they need to focus on other than wide receiver position right now. Like cornerback Steven Nelson or Brian Poole, or even I've talked about this before. I was on the Joey Shakes. I listened to Joey Shakes. I don't know if you guys know him, Shake Squad, the other day, and I brought this up. Was is Malik Hooker still a possibility? Post June 1st, and yeah, he's a possibility. I would love for the Eagles to again bring in Malik Hooker. He can, we obviously still have Rodney McLeod, at safety position, and if it's a matter of getting healthy for Malik Hooker, he can sit behind those guys and make sure he gets healthy, because that's a low risk, high reward. Honestly, it's a low risk, high reward. Dacus King says, I think you guys are in a good spot. If this season doesn't work out, draft the quarterback next year. Then that QB will be in rookie contract for 4 years, and you can do what AZ is doing with Kyler. Here's the thing. I'm not impressed with the rookie class next year. But then again, they have this entire season to do even better and to really, really impress. But at this moment, as it stands, I don't want to draft one of these quarterbacks next year. So with that said, I really hope that Jalen Hurts pans out. If not, I think the Eagles have other options. I think Deshaun Watson is still an option. I think Aaron Rodgers might even still be an option. Or even Russell Wilson might still be an option next year, depending upon what Jalen Hurts does. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Is June 4th the deadline, says Toxic Falcons. I thought it was June 1st. But June 4th it might be, yes. And it's not necessarily a deadline. It's just after June 1st. Then these then teams are going to start to get more cap space, because you'll see some teams release some players and it won't affect their cap, but in a positive way, like Zach Ertz. Dak is King says it's June 1st. Yeah, I thought it was June 1st. So June 1st is new league year. Right, exactly. Says Jalen. Thank you, Jalen. I appreciate that, bro. I also have some vanilla spray as well. I love this stuff. It sounds a little girly, but whatever. It smells good. It smells like vanilla. Jalen Hurstby says, sorry, my comment lags, LOL. That's cool. No problem. Not a problem. No problemo. I promise. So, but yeah, I don't think the Eagles are going to get. Speaking of Zach Ertz, I don't think the Eagles are going to get anything for Zach Ertz. I think they're going to release him. I think they're just waiting for the new league year to do it. So, and I think because of that, with that cap room that they're going to get from Zach Ertz, we're going to see a couple signings. We're going to see a couple of signings too. Right now, the roster is at 90. So, I mean, obviously there's going to be a couple of vacancies that need to open up for us to sign like a couple players. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurstby says, still looking for a girlfriend, by the way. Girl I was talking to didn't work out, just in case you guys were wondering. Me too, buddy. Me too. In due time, when the moment is right, the time will come. She's out there. She's out there looking for you, just like you're looking for her. You know what I mean? She's out there looking for you like you're looking for her. It's just when the time is right. When the time is right. That's something that I have to be reminded of too. You know what I mean? You know, so you and I are in the same boat. But you know, I do wish there were more serendipitous moments in life. You know, and again, obviously that depends on how you look at things, but you know, I was my mom, she always told me that. She said when the time is right. And her favorite movie, one of her favorite movies, she was a huge John Cusack fan, right? She still is. And so like she loved movies like Serendipity, which is John Cusack, and Kate Beckinsale, who I absolutely love. In love with Kate Beckinsale, like no joke, like absolutely in love with Kate Beckinsale. Just kidding. And so like I watched some of those movies with my mom, and so I believe in serendipity. You know what I mean? So you know, I got to do all I can to protect myself from jadism in the department, and it's and sometimes it's tough. Patrick J. 1408 is best John Cusack movie. While I love 1408, and you know that I do, it's pretty darn good. I know you like Identity too. Patrick James says, I'm listening, LOL. Hi, everyone. In a meeting, so I can't do much. Would you fight Aaron Donald if I got $500,000? No. I don't. I mean, actually, probably. I probably would. But, like, that dude would knock me the fuck out. Is there parameters? Like, is this like a version of Aaron Donald? Am I going up against the version of Aaron Donald that the offensive linemen have to go up against, or is Aaron Donald allowed to take it easy? That's certain parameters. Patrick James says I'd let him beat me up for 10K. Yeah. Yeah, as long as he doesn't fucking like go hard. Like I really don't want to have brain damage from Aaron Donald. Like that's not my plan. Like that's definitely not my plan. Oh, you just saw Leaving Las Vegas. Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. Speaking of movies, Woman in the Window. I just saw this earlier this week, and Amy Adams, Julianne Moore, great movie. Gary Oldman, phenomenal movie. But you got to watch it all the way through. All the way through. It's absolutely beautiful. Great ending. Great ending. The other one that I just watched was Keith Blanchett and Billy Crudup. Patrick James says Amy Adams was excellent in the movie. I'm glad that you saw that movie too. that makes me so happy because now we can fucking talk about it. I read that book. I read the book, but it was great. Ensemble was great. Yeah, I haven't read the book yet. Toxic Falcon says it sounds scary. It's really not that scary. I understand it sounds scary, but it's really not that scary. It's suspenseful, but not scary. She is watching you, Toxic Falcons. The lady in the window is watching you very closely. With one sudden move, she will bring danger upon you. Just playing. Patrick Kasim said, "Where'd you go?" What do you mean, where'd I go? What do you mean? The movie I saw with Keith Blanchett and Billy Crudup. What was it called? It's on the tip of my tongue, man. It just came out like this past year. She's looking for herself. She's an architect. Patrick, come on, help me. She's looking for herself. She's an architect. Like she's a well-renowned architect in the movie. Billy Crudup is her husband. Yes. Movie title with Blanchett and Crudup, which I actually love Billy Crudup, by the way. I haven't been a big fan of his forever, but I also rewatched Almost Famous this past week as well for like the 80th time. And I was like, man, he actually did a good job in that movie. And then obviously seeing The Morning Show with him. Oh, the title of the movie is Where'd You Go? Yeah. Why does that not seem right? But I'm sure Patrick is right. As we all know, guys, the more when we look back on memories, they actually change every time you look back on them. But it's very true and scientifically proven. Dun 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 dun. Scientifically proven. But anyway, guys, I'll probably do another stream with you guys later. But I have to go for now. I have some errands to run. But this is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, and all other stuff that you guys love to talk about. Happy Friday, everybody. I will speak to you soon. I will be with you tomorrow as well, if I'm not later tonight, but I will certainly try. But have a beautiful rest of your Friday evening. Have some good dinner. Jalen, get on that diet, bro. One love. Have a good evening, guys. Go Birds.